First of all, Ken, congratulations on being part of the 800th anniversary of Raw. I mean, considering that Raw has been in existence for almost 15 years, it is the longest running television series, beating the likes of MASH, Friends, The Simpsons. What do you think of the achievement?
Well, I think that WWE continues to have an unbelievable presence in the entertainment world and will continue to for the foreseeable future. Just being on that episode, the 15th anniversary of Raw was just, a testament to the power of the WWE. And every time we come to a foreign country, every time we come out of the United States, it's amazing to see the fans. And I think the fans are amazed to see us, time and time again. And it's proven because they continue to pack arenas around the world.
Okay, now that's really good news. Of course, that took place on November the 3rd, which was the eve of another truly historic day in the United States as Barack Obama became the first black president. The WWE, of course, played its part in getting people to vote. And yourself, personally, which camp were you rooting for?
The guy that didn't win, that's the guy that I was rooting for. But, I don't agree with a lot of Obama's philosophies. But, I will be a good citizen, a responsible citizen of the United States, and I'll support my president as much as I can, as much as I feel is necessary. But I will remain loyal opposition to Barack Obama. And unfortunately, I don't think he is who he says he is. And we'll see, though. I hope that I'm wrong.
Well said, Mr. Kennedy. Now, you've been out of action for about 3 months now. You've had a shoulder injury. You underwent surgery. Could you bring us up to date on your current status?
Right now, I am about 4 months out from being medically cleared to return to the ring. I've just been rehabbing. I actually tried to do just rehab on it before having to go into surgery, and that didn't work. So I ended up having the surgery, and like I said, it's been about 2 months now. I'm just rehabbing, trying to work out as much as I can. Unfortunately, I can only work out with the left side of my body. Other than, I can do legs and I can do abs and I can do lower back and things. It's been a tough road. It's been, it was pretty painful at first, but I'm getting through it. I'm getting by, trying to make the most out of the situation.
Now, that's good to hear, but considering that you've been out for a few months, there's been a few rumors sort of circulating on the internet as you being injury-prone, and that could possibly have an impact on your contract with the WWE, which is coming up for renewal. Would you like to address that once and for all?
Well, first of all, my contract isn't almost up for renewal. It's not up until, I think we've got another year left on the contract. I don't know where that story started circulating from, but internet rumors are always fun. As far as being injury prone, look, we wrestle, 150 to 200 times a year. The human body is, hard to go through, to put your body through that kind of torture. Night after night after night. What we do is not ballet, and guys get injured. And, a lot of times the injury occurs because sometimes it can be a fluke. Sometimes it can be because of another performer's carelessness. Sometimes it can happen because of your carelessness. I don't particularly think that I'm injury prone. I just, I've had some bad breaks, and I'm going to still continue to wrestle as hard as I can and to be the best performer that I can be. I've always said that in WWE, a lot of people are always worried about the politics and worried about what goes on backstage, and this guy's out to get you and that guy's out to get you. And I think that in our business, in this company, if you go into work and you put 100% effort all the time, and you work hard and you do what's asked of you, and you try to go above and beyond, that you'll be successful. And I have never turned down a day of work. I work my butt off as much as I can, and I think I'm good. I think I'm here to stay.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, undoubtedly, every time you guys go into the ring, you put the bodies on the line, and it is for the entertainment of the fans. Now, on that element, what sets you apart from the rest of the superstars is probably this idea of announcing your own last name twice. How did that idea come about?
Well, I used to announce basketball games when I was in high school. And it was just something that I kind of got away from. And I happened to be down in Louisville wrestling for Ohio Valley. And Paul Heyman came down, and one night he just kind of out of the blue just said, "Hey, tonight I want you to go out there and do something different. Cut the ring announcer off, cut him down, berate him, and then, do your own announcement." And as kind of just to pop myself, I said my last name twice. And I came back to the locker room, and everybody was like, "Man, that was so cool when you said your last name twice." And 5 weeks later I was on TV. So it's just a testament to really say that sometimes the stupidest, silliest things that you'd never think of in a million years get you over and get you popular with the fans. And that's a situation. I don't think I changed much in the way of wrestling. Obviously, I've gotten better since I started with the WWE, but I really didn't change a whole lot. I just started saying my last name twice, and that's what turned out to be the icing on the cake. It got me in the door.
I understand you get phone calls from time to time from one Stone Cold Steve Austin regarding your work in the ring. Tell us more about this unique relationship.
A couple of years ago when Raw switched back from Spike TV to the USA Network, we had a 3-hour special, and Stone Cold was at the building. And I made a point to go up to him and tell him that how much I respected him and how much he had a hand, unknowingly, that he had a hand in getting me involved in the wrestling business and getting me to where I was at that particular time. Not much was really said after that, but a couple of years later, or a couple months later, actually, I was in a match on SmackDown with Batista, and we had a pretty good match. I think it was a 2-segment, commercial break match, and he called me after he had seen the episode and just wanted to tell me that he really enjoyed the match and wanted to give me a couple pointers, things that I could do to improve my skills as a performer. And we just kind of continued to keep in touch with each other, and from time to time I'll call him or he'll call me with a bit of advice. And the amazing thing about Steve is that he's given so much to this business, and he's done so much for the wrestling business. And he really could walk away and not have anything to do with it ever again, but he has such a love for the business, such a passion, and he's got such a great wrestling mind that he still puts it to use, and he still offers suggestions. And a lot of times the stuff that he suggested to me is just simple stuff that when he tells you, you just kind of smack yourself in the forehead and say, duh, I should have realized that. But he's just a great guy.
Yeah, that's something that you don't really hear every day about the Texas Rattlesnake. Now, in a dream matchup with Mr. Kennedy, who would you like to meet for the World Championship in the Squared Circle?
Well, there's a lot of guys that I'd actually like to meet up for that. Shawn Michaels being one of them, Triple H being another. And, in a perfect world, I'd love to get in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin. While the likelihood of that happening isn't very high, maybe we could do something on the big screen,
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be able to do something in the future.
Okay, now even though you're in rehab at the moment, I'm sure you're still watching SmackDown. What do you make of this new element of seeing the great Khali and his new role as the Punjabi playboy?
I think it's fun. I think that wrestling is like ice cream for people. There's different flavors for different folks. Some people like the comedy stuff. Some people like the hard-hitting, intense wrestling. Some people like technical wrestling. And so, I always enjoy when people kind of reinvent themselves and take on a new role. And, it's definitely very entertaining. And it shows a different side to the great Khali.
Okay, now of course the WWE is the pinnacle of pro wrestling. It took you about 6 years to get into the organization. Now that you're here, what would you like to achieve during your time with the WWE?
Well, I've always said that I would like to main event to WrestleMania, and I'd like to become world champion. So those are definitely two things that are attainable, and it's just a matter of when it's going to happen, not if it's going to happen.
And one final question. From what I understand, you have this role in an upcoming 20th Century Fox production entitled Behind Enemy Lines 3. Could you tell us a little bit more about that role?
Yes, it's Behind Enemy Lines Colombia, and it comes out on Blu-ray and DVD on January 6th. And it's basically a story of 5 Navy SEALs that go into Colombia on a reconnaissance mission. And we run into the hornet's nest, so to speak, and are left behind. We're framed for doing something that we didn't do. And one of our guys gets captured, a couple guys get killed, and we end up, my buddy and I have to go in and rescue our friend and our ally and clear our names and try to achieve semblance of peace and get the heck out of Dodge. So it's a fun movie, and really had a great time shooting it. And I think that when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray January 6th, that people are going to be pleasantly surprised by it.
I think they will be, because I think a lot of fans still don't know about this new element of yours where you're sort of following the footsteps of John Cena, Kane, or The Rock. So is this something that's possibly down the line in the near future, an acting career?
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's in the near future. From time to time, I may be able to do projects here and there, but I still have so many things that I need to accomplish in the wrestling business that I would really like to get that stuff done, and then maybe open another chapter in my life. But I think it's a chance for people to see a different side of me and see that I have, talents in other areas as well.
All right, Ken, all the best, and we'll see you in the ring real soon, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The pleasure has been all yours.
Thank you very much.